Hello everyone, YesTechie here.
We recently posted video about UniFi deployment for tracking yard. During installation, we identified few business needs which YesTechie can solve with a custom AGI solution.
Continue watching. In this video we'll show you the whole process from identification of the problem, development and to the implementation of final solution.
Let's watch.
Hi Adam.
Hi there, sir.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
And this is our customer, Rainbow. Please, can you explain a little bit more about your business and your unique setup you're trying to achieve with a UniFi security system?
So we've got a shared yard, so multiple different tenants all share occupancy in the back there to store their equipment and trailers, all kinds of various different pieces of equipment. We had a LPR camera that did an okay job capturing license plates, but wasn't able to capture all the various other unique identifiers that both tractors and chassis and containers all have. Likewise, there's various different kinds of equipment, both intermodal 40-foot containers as well as tank trucks and other non-uniform things. So figuring out a way to be able to capture all of that data and record it was the main purpose here.
Before you contact us, so you have something in place, right? But system is not performing.
It was able to capture license plates fairly effectively, but it really wasn't able to capture many other numbers with any consistency.
Yeah, so our team deployed access control and cameras. So we will talk later about like our custom AGI solution. So our goal is basically differentiate what type of truck. So we need to know, is it like big truck, smaller truck, chassis numbers. So built-in features very good, you know, like recognizing license plate, for example. But they're not like suitable to, you know, recognize unique chassis number, containers, and all the, if truck is actually coming, so it's ingress or egress. So our goal is to build a comprehensive log, right? So with all the information, and Adam will know exactly when and who came, and we'll have in the log all the information regarding these trucks.
Exactly.
Right?
Okay, we installed some little computer locally where all processing going on. And this is the first like a beta version of how it can look. So in this panel you can search, you can filter all the trucks, you can select like particular day or date range, you can see only trucks coming in or going out. Also we can filter them by the type. For example, let's see only like bobtails or just tankers. Also, the system can recognize by the photo color of the bobtail itself and the container, and like a type of attachment. And you can see all the timeline, all the semis. And we gathering a lot of data, like different telemetry. And now to make interface like more easier to use, we showing like just a minimum of required data. Then we can add like USDOT MC number. We can add the number of the container, number of the chassis. We actually already collecting them, and it's just not in the interface. And we need your feedback here, like what will be more like easier way for you to use it, or what you need to add and stuff like this. So for now, you can click on each pass. We can see some pictures here, and we can see footages from all 3 cameras. With the truck passing like through them.
Yeah, no, that's great. So in an ideal world, let's just click on this one so you could see. So now again, the problem is that sometimes it's here, sometimes it's here, sometimes, right?
Not a problem. It'll be extracted separately, and we can actually add it to the main.
Sorry, that was me.
It's okay. We can edit like small tile here with the USDOT and company name.
So it's really, ideally for my practical use case would be company name and container number.
Okay.
If we could get that company name and container number, that would be ideal for the chassis. That would for sure be the #1 priority.
Okay.
Is customer name and container number. Now, if we can really fast, because we may be able to see the example better when looking only at a tanker truck here. Now, in an ideal world, we would also be able, in addition to USDOT, yeah, that's fine. See, and again, this one's a bad example. Tard, there goes the number. So a unit number. And then in addition, if any placards are present. See, now when they're leaving, they'll never have a placard because we've cleaned them.
Okay.
But here goes one driving in.
You're talking about hazmat signs.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. That guy, and then again, this is hard and would be a wonderful ideal case, but I understand that this would be a tough one to get. Do you see that there's also a number? There's a number. May be very difficult to capture, but that would also be incredibly useful to not only get the hazard, but then also the hazard identification.
So the sign is it's a standard.
Yes, the sign,
the same sign, all of them, so we can detect it.
Okay.
We can detect it, and it's, as I understand, it's like particular category.
They all have, there's 6 or 7 different kinds. That's correct.
And why it is important to you to know how to clean it?
Exactly. That way, then I would know what to do or what to expect for the guys over there, because now they're arriving overnight, and now I know what to do with them when they get here, because sometimes they may drop off the trailer and then bobtail out, and they don't always fill out all the paperwork.
And you don't know what to clean it from.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, what else? Any particular cases? Do you need some time, I don't know, to find some particular bobtail to know when it's came, when it's...
Yes, so if you want to look at bobtails specifically, and again, that's where it's tricky, but also on bobtails as well as dry vans. So we could also look at some of these. There are also unit numbers on these. See 27 right there? But again, never uniform, because that's all a company identifier. Let's go to the next one.
Better to use the sure side camera.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Because...
Right, yep.
Can you catch it?
218. Yeah. And see, the other one was up here. They may be there. They could be up there, right? They may be anywhere on there. Similarly, I am listing these things in order of importance, right? This would be convenient, but not inherently a must-have.
Okay.
Ideally, if I could, on just bobtails, at least get the customer number or the customer name.
Like company name.
ENCP.
Okay.
Correct.
Or we can catch unified USDOT.
Well, and to exactly that point, if I can have it, USDOT would be nice, but that's sometimes hard to counter reference. to be honest, it's already pretty ideal, because if I can see what customer it is and a timestamp and the container numbers, I can then go and watch the video and catch the number as needed. I mean, again, that's where if you could extract it, but that's not uniform.
Yeah, but you can't search by container number yet.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So I can search by container number, and that would, right.
Okay.
If we could get there.
Okay, what else we have here? You can search by cab caller and trailer caller.
Yep, that will be very convenient, because when people don't know, they can say, oh, it was a red cab or a red container, and that way we can filter by all of those and then just go through them all and find out which one it was.
Okay, anything like in user interface? Something maybe we need to make something bigger, or thumbnails make them clickable. For now, it's not the best picture. We'll improve it later. So in each thumbnail, you will see the exact track.
That would be nice, but the thumbnail is nice. But if all I can do is click down and be able to see these, that's good. Timestamp, entering or leaving. The plate number, the type, and then any other container number. In terms of on this interface, I really only need one more. That would be container number.
Okay.
That would really be ideal. Then again, when it comes to tankers and bobtails and other things, that unit number would be useful, but less important here, would be more important, in some other additional piece of information.
Okay, and for tankers, it's unified, so it's on the tank between the bobtail and tank, or?
Not always. Let's see if we can find another example.
So you can see the same tanker, it's entering, they're leaving.
Yep. See, there goes the tractor number. Yep, and that one is another uniform one. But let's see if we can get you another one. Who is this?
It's a straight traction.
Yeah. And it's got to be on here someplace. It might be. So again, on the straight trucks, they may not always have them, because it may just be the number of the. Yeah, okay, so this is a different style. Oops, this is a vacuum truck. So this is another good example. No, see, it's not, oh gosh, sorry. But it's not there on this one. See, no, it's not there. It is instead. Yeah, see, it may be up there.
Okay. Okay, we can
We can work on that one, but again, that's where, as long as it can say tanker and give me the information off of the door panel, that would really be all I would need to know. That would suffice. If I could just get this and tanker, ponder, and tanker.
Okay, one more thing for.
Oh, actually, look, there it was right there.
Okay, for some trucks, the system weren't able to get the license plates because they going on the line next from the camera. The gate's closed now, and the angle of the camera is too big, and it's hard to recognize. If they all gonna go through the gates, we will catch like 95% of the license plates and more, and they will install LPR camera, so it will catch all of them at night.
This would be my proposal there. Let's install the new camera. Let's see how that goes. Then, knowing that we're getting a little bit of better capture, Then we'll be able to go back and look. If not, I may just have to buy another LPR. Could we put another LPR, or is that going to interfere with the API?
No.
Unfortunately, we just have to add another camera to capture that second lane if we're unable to capture it with one lane.
Okay.
Because again, the way that traffic is going to continue to flow for now is that during the day, it's all going to go through that side, but then at night, it's all going to go through the automation. So that means that during the day, you maybe won't capture everything. At night, yes, because everything's going to go through that gate. But then again, because right now we're still having trouble with the gate. If the gate breaks, they need to, now everybody goes back through this way.
Okay. Any other questions about interface? Maybe, do you need, I don't know, in some cases to extract or save the log as, I don't know, Excel table or something like this?
Yes, that would be very useful in two instances. Either one, in an instance where I'd need to give this to somebody because they wanted it for, one reason or another, or B, as I could then use it to, fact check my billing. Yes, no, look, this container did come onto this property 4 different times.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So yes, exported to an Excel would be great.
Okay. Any other suggestions or something?
It's great. At a certain point, is better even than we originally talked about. So that's really great. Being able to identify the tanks is great. That's kind of the next step. I would have been happy with just the containers or the container numbers, getting the tank. And again, if at all, any tank or unit numbers from the bobtails would really be ideal. But again, I understand that's not a uniform location on the units by any means. While on the containers, they will always be in the same uniform location. So if we could add that, that will really be the best use case, 100%.
Okay. Yeah. Also, some of the detections can be still incorrect because there are actually very complex algorithms behind everything.
Sure.
I will add the button, something like I don't know, report issue. And if you see if anything wrong, you can just click this button, and we'll gather all the information, so we will be able to catch the bugs and fix them.
Very understandable that there are some bugs sometimes. That's hard to hard to not have a few of those as you go. But no, so far this is great. This will be very helpful to us.
And this is how our interface
Your side,
looks. Different cameras, timelines. We can see where at what moment at a time the frame was captured. All the telemetry from all the cameras and all the stuff.
That's great. And this is, I presume, because it just looks familiar, this is all on a Ubiquiti platform?
No, it's
our
custom-made interface. Yes. So sometimes it still fails when 2 trucks come in at the same time.
That is one of the reasons why I want to keep it. If and when I were to have, remember we talked about it, 1 entry and 1 exit. What was happening when we were trialing that is when all the gates are open, they just go too fast. People start speeding up, and let alone capturing the image. It's just not safe. We want them to slow down. That's why we're going to keep it with only 1 lane, because it forces them to slow down a little bit.
We use actually because we use Ubiquiti. The Ubiquiti system is pretty open. They giving us a lot of data via their API, and we use it, combine it, then use some algorithms to make it look like it looks, to sort everything out and stuff like this. And one more question: how this is it look different from the system you're using right now, or you tried to use in past?
Yes, very different. Again, this is incredibly professional, well made, easy to interface. I wouldn't mind giving this to somebody who hadn't inherently been trained on it, and I feel like they'd be able to interface with it. I can show you the other one. It's not up and running, but it's miserable. It's not user-friendly at all. Similarly, the Ubiquiti stuff is very user-friendly, and one of the reasons why I asked, because I will wind up using the Ubiquiti endpoint and access system as we finalize rollout on this new gate for all the users to then have all their access and all their stuff through the Ubiquiti. I understand how I can access them various cameras, which I won't mind them having access to, but I would only want certain people to have access to this. So if they're separate, I should still have some user login, but less important if it's not inherently tied into the system.
And what do you think, what the retention time for the data you need?
At a certain point, at least a month, potentially more. To that end, I could probably get away with just a month at a time if I could export to Excel all the data, get it, and then just keep that as a backup if for any reason I needed to go back. Hey, there's no video or anything like that anymore, but now there is a backed up log. So I think that a month, 30 days would be plenty if there's an export to Excel function.
Yeah, about a month for the full packet with the videos and everything.
I could do it less than that. I would just need to export to Excel in a... Does that make sense?
I think actually even 2 or 3 months with the videos will not be a problem. And if we keep just the text, we can keep it for a long period.
That's what I figured, is that once it's just text data, it won't take up too much space.
Okay, so today we will install LPR camera, and we will see how it gonna improve our detections, and
Okay. Great. No, again, it's looking really good. This is exactly what I would hope for. I'll go ahead and bookmark this one for now, but keep me posted as we figure out the user login and all that kind of stuff for it. And because I am not training employees on it yet. I'm waiting for it to be fully deployed before I let any of the gate guys or anything like that and start using it.
Yeah. And I spent the whole day to work on these thumbnails for the truck.
They're very good. That's beyond good. They're beautiful. They're very nice. Look, you even got the lines down. You even got the lines on the containers.
Yeah,
they look great.
Yeah, because you need to separate containers and dry vans.
Sure, exactly.
Yeah.
But no, very good. And yeah, no, the chassis are great. Do you think you'll be able to wind up getting chassis numbers?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Great. Because again, when bare chassis come in, then if it's a containerized chassis, I don't need the chassis number. But if it's a bare chassis,
do you need the this description here if you have the?
No.
Okay.
No.
We can
exactly. Like if we have the nice little picture, I don't really need the.
It's like self-explanatory.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, no. Again, guys, really good. Is very much better than I anticipated, or it looks really good. And like I'm saying, I'm happy to do that because I guarantee you can market this product if you get it up and running and pretty easy to deploy. I can't guarantee the sales, but I can promise you I got a couple people who would be interested in looking at it 100%.
Okay.
Client asked us specifically if we can come up with some solution where he can detect and log container numbers. All of them placed at the same location on the container. So we will try to do this. Second thing he asked about, it's chassis number. It's located here, as you can see, on the chassis, but it's not standard. So we will try to do it too. After presentation of the first version of our solution to the client and few weeks of development, we implemented all the suggestions, and I want to show you the most important one. Now you can, in the dashboard, now you can see the container number. So system can recognize it and add as field to the record of each pass of the truck, and client able to search and filter by container number. If needed, he can verify it by a specific frame from the video where container number is clearly visible. During UniFi installation and communicating with the customer, we understood that some of his specific business needs can be solved with standard tools. So we designed and developed our own custom HCI solution. If you're looking for a unique and specific solution for your business, YesTechie is the exact technology provider you need. Contact us at YesTechie.com. We will be happy to help you.